if you use SureCrafter, you'll notice that every time you create a product, this is the layout that you get. So it's pretty boring. You can't really customize it. But I have great news for you, because just recently I found out that you can actually customize your product page using a template. But so far, we can do it using Elementor Pro. Okay, so I hope this feature comes to Divi very, very soon. But anyway, let me show you how you can do this in Elementor Pro. So what we're trying to achieve here is a page that looks like this. We have our own custom heading. Over here, I've managed to add a video. Bottom here, I've also added this testimonial item. So as you can see, the page has come alive. So this is what we can do with Elementor Pro. So let me show you how you can achieve this. So we're going to come back over here to dashboard. All right, so what we need are our templates, okay? So we're going to come over here to templates, and then we're going to go to theme builder. So over here, you're going to notice that I've already gone in and created one, and it's this right here. It's called SureCart test. So let's create a new one, or should we create a new one or delete this one? Anyway, let's just call this SureCart. Let's click here on add new. All right, so now we see that we have SureCart product. So we can go ahead and select this one here. Next, we have these two options here. So we can choose, either one. It doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to go in and click on insert. So this is going to bring our blank layout. And this is the layout that we can go crazy and customize. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we are going to add something in here. So if we click here, you're going to notice here on the container, we have two columns. That's this column here and this column. So in this column that we have here, where we have this product, right? You see this product media is what we have here. We want to add a video. So we're going to click here on this plus button, and the element we're going to add is a video. So I'm going to search for it like that and then click on it. Okay, great. So now we have a video under it. But the cool thing is I can actually go in and customize this further. So I want to go to style. Okay, so we can see here it's 16:9, which is okay. And then on the advanced here, I want to add a bit of margin here because everything is really close. So I'm going to come break this, and I'm just going to use rem for this. And for margin top, I'm going to go with 2. Okay, so we can see we've just added a gap right there, which is brilliant. So that's all I need to do for this. But if I want to add more onto this right column right here, I can always come over here. And you can see we have our product name, our pricing. I mean, we have everything here. So if we want to go into the pricing itself and make changes in here, we can easily go in. So for example, if I click on that and let's say I want to make the text even bold. Okay, so I can come over here and you can see where here we have typography, right? So we can adjust the size. We can also adjust the font weight. So let's take it all the way up to 800. So you can see now it has updated. Okay. Same thing applies. We can go in, change, pretty much change everything here. We can even go in and let's say for this item here, just to give it a bit more clarity, we can go in and give it a background. So we're going to come over here to background type, and for our color, okay, we don't want to use a global color. So let's just choose a color from here. Now, have you noticed that it has just changed over here? Okay, I'm just doing this for demo purposes. Of course, I would need, quite a bit of time to really play around with this. But you can see there, I've added my color. I can add a bit of transparency in there. So it's not really too much in your face. Okay, so I've just brought it all the way down like that. And maybe I may want to add a bit of padding around this. So let's go ahead and say 10. Okay, all around. And yeah, I think pretty much I'm okay with that. Right, so we've added a video, we've made this bold, and we've also highlighted this area here in the background and added a background color. Now, you know what? That color is still a bit too much. Let's bring it down a little bit. It needs to be very subtle. Okay, there we go. So I think that's cool. Next, we are going to decide, okay, do we need to add anything else in here? I mean, there's so much we can do here. We got this add to cart. We can add something below this as well if we needed to. But you know what? I'm going to keep things very simple. Over here on the bottom, I'm going to click on this plus button, And notice that we have this SureCart. So we can add, another template here, but of course we wouldn't want to do that, do we? Because we are working on a template right now. But if we click on this plus button and then go into this layout, right? So for this layout here, if I were to click on this plus button and search for SureCart, right, you're going to notice that I have add to cart, I got my cart toggle icon, I have media, I have product form, product pricing. There's so much that I have here that I can, play around with. We've got a custom amount here. We've got a checkout form. So if you wanted to create a template, which is specific, you can start off with a checkout form over here and, just design it the way you want. We even have a featured image here if we wanted to add a featured image. So there's a lot that we can play around with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this, a bit different. So I'm going to come over here to the top and I'm going to add a single column flexbox. Okay. We're going to go with this layout here. And for this, I want to add a custom heading. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go in, click on this plus button, and we're going to add post title. Okay. Like that. So with that selected now, I can go to this original container and we're going to go to style, add a background. Okay, so this is where you get to choose whatever background color you want. So I'm going to go with this really dark gray here. Okay, like that. And of course, we want to add a bit of breathing room because this is a bit too much. We're going to come over here and let's go to our padding. We're going to use percentage here, but for this now, we're going to break this link because we just want to add this to the top and the bottom. So let's go with 6 to the top. And on the bottom here, we're going to add 2%. Would that work? No. Maybe let's try 4%. And then on the top here, 8. Will that work? Yeah, I think so. But if you wanted to go further in and customize the text here, I mean, we can do all that. We can do all that. That's not even a problem. All right, so if you wanted to add an image in the background and you have time to do that, you can come over here, choose your image. But of course, you want this to be dynamic. So what you want to do is to highlight here, click on dynamic tags, and this is where you would add your featured image. But we're not going to bother, too much with that. We're just going to create a basic template. So over here, you can see all my content here is very close to my heading here. So we want to add a bit of padding over here. So we're going to select this, okay? And then, am I choosing the right thing here? Is this the right item? Okay, we need to double check over here. Yes, it is. All right, so with this now, I'm now going to come over here to style. No, we need to go to advanced, okay? I always mix these up when I'm playing around with Elementor. All right, so over here, we're going to break the chain, and then we're going to go for percentage, and we're just going to go with 4%. Okay, that's all we need, 4%. And then on the bottom here, we're also going to do the same. We're going to use 4%. So now we have a bit of breathing room just above here, which is fantastic. So we have our video here. We have highlighted our price here as well. And let's say, for example, you want to move this, to come over here. I mean, it's up to you. There's so many customizations you can do. All right, so over here now, let's add our testimonial. Okay. So to do that, so we're going to come over here and search for testimonial. And here it is. I'm going to drag and drop it in here. And the next step now for this container is to add a bit of a background color. How about that? All right, so we're going to come over here to style. And for our color here, we're going to go with a light gray. Okay, I think that works for our main background. And then what we're going to do is we are now going to go into this item, which is our testimonial. And for our image here, I'm going to click on dynamic and user profile picture. I think that works. Will that work? Okay, not sure if user profile picture will work, but anyway, let's just add our picture, our image here. And this is going to be the same throughout all our products. Okay, so now that I have this, let's go in and further customize this, because I want to make sure that when I go in here into style, I can have several of these, but they need to have a very light background. So let me just make sure I've selected this again. There we go. Okay, so text color, typography, and all that is cool. And we need to add a bit of padding here. So let's go with RAM. We're going to go with, let's say, let's try 10. Okay, that's a bit too much. Let's go with 6. That's strange. All right, we're going to go with 2 RAM. Okay, so with that now, I can further customize, the way the layout looks, but we're not going to bother with that right now. So let's go with our background. So this is our text color. We want it slightly dark. Okay, I think that will do. Okay, and then our content here looks great. Yeah, I think everything else is fine. So what we can do now is, with this testimonial now, you can see here we have this dark background, but for the testimonial, if we wanted to add a color, we would come over here and let's go to advanced, I think. Okay. There we go, background. Right, so for our background now, I just need to add a basic white color, okay? There we go. So now we have our white color, which is fantastic. Do we need a border? Nah, not necessarily. I think we're good. All right, so now that I have that, we're now going to go back to this container and add some breathing spaces again. So we're going to come over here, set this to RAM, and then we are going to say 4, okay? 4 RAM. So that's where our testimonials are going to be. So now with this testimonial here, let's see if we can duplicate it a few times. Right click, duplicates. Okay, look at that. That looks cool. Let's do it one more time. There we go. So now we have our testimonials here. So we have a few of them. Of course, if I had time, I'd go in and change the text, change the image here, and do all that great stuff. But anyway, this is our, basic template. Let's go ahead now and publish. Now, notice what happens. It's asking me now, add condition. So I can now go in and click on add condition and apply this to all the products. But we have another template that has been applied to all the products. That's where the problem is. So I would need to fix that first. So anyway, I want to say add, or in fact, you know what? Let me go back. So let's open this in a new tab and delete what that product is applied to. So we're going to go to our theme builder here, and this is the one that I did earlier on. And then I'm going to come over here and delete it. Or I can go and edit the conditions. So here it says all products. I can get rid of that, save and close. So back over here now, let's just get rid of that and then try and save it one more time. So let's go ahead and publish. So now I'm going to say all products. Okay, SureCrafter product. And then all. Save and close. This should work. Okay, fantastic. So it looks like it's worked now. So this is what we had before. So let's find a product here by clicking back to Elementor. We're going to go to WordPress, and then we're going to go back to SureCrafter and then go to our products. Okay, so now that we have our products, I'm just going to go to the same one. Okay, we're going to click on view. Look at that. So now we have our own title. We have this pricing area here highlighted. We have a video here to really go into detail about this product here, which is fantastic. When we go further down here, we have our testimonials. So you can see here that we can really, if you have time, we can go in and really spend quite a bit of time here and customize it from this to that. Now, I'm sure you can agree with me that there's a lot more potential here if we go in and start using templates in Elementor. So for this to work, you're going to need Elementor Pro. So go out there, try it out, make your product pages even more awesome using this template in Elementor Pro. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments box below. Are you using this already, or this is your first time finding out? Let me know in the comments box below. I will leave a link to SureCart in the video description below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.